Hey everybody, it's Richard Seaman coming at you from the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, and I want to welcome you to day 24 of National Life Coaching Month here at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. Again, my name is Richard Seaman, and I am the founder and director of Seattle Life Coach Training in Seattle, Washington. And I am so excited to be here with you again. I've been here for the last 4 weeks, and I'm so excited. Hi, Luann, nice to see you. Hi, all you lovelies. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Melita, good to see you. Terry Barton, good to see you. I'm excited to be here. And hi, Rodney, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll let everyone start coming in. So it's day 24 of our National Life Coaching Month here at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And I'm super excited. Hi, Mary Ritter. How you doing, my dear? Good to see you. Are your lights on today, Mary Ritter? Hi, Mary. So I wanted to just welcome everybody again to day 24 of National Life Coaching Month. And we have just been bringing you a ton of value here at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And I'm super excited to be able to offer you some amazing opportunity today. And we're going to be talking today a little bit about how to run a successful business, right? And that's what we do at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts, is we are here to provide affordable classes to people all over the world that will support you in becoming a success in the healing arts field. So whether you're wanting to be a life coach, or you're a teacher, or a yoga instructor, or a massage therapist, or whatever it is, a natural aesthetics person, or holistic nutrition, or a herbalist. I mean, there's so many things. So I would really invite you, hi Carla, to check out SWIHA.edu for all of the opportunities that we bring to you. So again, my name is Richard Seaman, and I am the founder and director of Seattle Life Coach Training in Seattle, Washington, and I'm also the lead instructor in the life coaching program at SWIHA in Tempe, Arizona. So welcome. So today, hi Crystal, Carla, good to see you. So today I wanted to just bring a ton of value to you. And the value is that I want to talk to you about the 7 success keys to building a soulful business. And I know so many people out there in the world are wanting to run a business. And if you are someone out there that's looking to run a successful business, let me know about that and ask me some questions today, because I'd love to answer and do a Q&A on the things that I know. One thing that I absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt is that I am a soulful entrepreneur, and I am running a very successful company in the 6 figures and have been for the last 8 years. And I run my company remotely from, hi Tamara, I run my company remotely from my home office, and I travel back and forth between Phoenix and Seattle once a month, and I have done an amazing job. But I've learned that there is some really amazing keys to running a soulful business. And I want to talk a little bit about what the difference between running a business and running a soulful business is. So just get ready. You might want to take some notes down, because I know that the value I'm going to bring to you is going to bring an up level to your current business that you're in right now. So first of all, what is a soulful entrepreneur? A soulful entrepreneur is one that understands that your life and your life and your love and your work and your spirituality are not separate, that they are all connected, and that what I believe is that we cannot do this alone. And when we try to do this work alone, that ends up making things a lot more difficult. And so I want to talk to you about, this idea that the soulful entrepreneur is someone that really gets that their love and their life and their work and their spirituality are not separate. And so when we combine those as one, things happen. Things change, because what I say is that you're co-creating your life with your higher power. And that's really, I believe, the reason that I've been so successful, is because I do nothing in my business before I ask my higher power. So let me tell you this, that there's a difference between prayer and meditation. So here it is. To pray is to ask, and to meditate is to listen. And you need to learn how to pray and meditate simultaneously when you're operating a soulful business. And so we need to ask for what we need. We need to speak out what it is that we are saying yes to, and our claim and our declaration to the universe. And at the same time, what we need to do then is then slow down after we've prayed, which is asking, and then we need to meditate, which is to listen to what you hear. So many times when I get out of my center, the first thing I need to do is stop. And what I say is hit the ground, right? So I hit the ground, which means I drop to the ground and I get myself grounded and I get myself centered and I listen to what it is that the divine whispers are speaking to me. And those are usually the things that will propel my business forward in a powerful way. So Tamara, what are you saying? I really want to see this topic, but I have to get back to work. I get it, but this will be live streamed, Tamara, and you can go back into an archive and watch this again. So we've talked about what a soulful entrepreneur is, and let me go into now the 7 success keys to running a soulful business. And if you have any questions or you want to comment, I am watching the ticker here, so I'm able to support you in your questions. So for those of you that are just joining the live stream presentation today, my name is Richard Seaman. I am the lead instructor at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts and the Life Coaching Program, and I'm also the founder and director of Seattle Life Coach Training in Seattle, Washington. We're talking today about what a soulful business is and also the 7 keys to success to running a soulful business. So let's talk about the first key to running a successful soulful business. So the first key is that you need to learn to become an expert in something. So let's just take a moment and think about that. A lot of us are searching for purpose, and we're searching for a way to make a living. And it's really important that we know what we are doing. And my greatest invitation in being expert in something is that you need to learn how to master your message. And it's so important that whatever offering that you're bringing into the world, that you really understand what you're selling, right? And that, as Casey Miller, the founder of SWIHA, would say, is that you need to be able to say it without stuttering and be able to say it with clarity. And also, hi Becca, be able to really support the people that are coming to you with the offering that you're offering with a clear, concise, and quick answer. The longer that you talk and la and gaga around about your message, the less they're going to believe you. So I think that in the life coaching program and the business development programs that we teach, that we really help you laser in on your mastering your message so you can become an expert in something that you are doing. So no matter if you're a coach or you're a other type of practitioner, I think it's important that you practice what it is that you're offering the world. Hi, Luis. What you're offering to the world. So, when someone comes to you and say, what do you do? What a great opportunity. And that is a question that most people will ask you. But at the same time, when someone says to you, what do you do? That also puts value on you. And part of the work as a soulful entrepreneur is being able to come in with this awesome clarity. And this is what I do. So what I would say is that hello, my name is, and who I work with is, and my intention is, and what I charge is, and what my guarantee is, and then leave them with a question. The worst, most awkward thing you can do is get into a conversation with somebody about what you're offering the world, and then have this awkward silence where you don't know what to do with it. So I would really invite you to be able to then leave them with a question that'll put them into process, that'll get them to talk about what they want to do in the world, which will help you become an expert in something. So the first key is to become an expert in something, which another lack of words would be having a niche, right? And when you have a niche, you're very clear on what it is you're here to offer the world. Okay, so number 1, hi Sue, hi Patricia, good to see you, good afternoon everybody, nice to see everybody. All right, so let's go into the second key to success to running a soulful business. So the second key is to co-create with a higher power. I just talked about that in the beginning of this live. So when we're co-creating, again, we can't do this alone. And so we have to go take it to our higher power and ask it what it is that we are to do. What's our next step? And I talked last week in my live last Wednesday, about how we are fog walkers, right? And that sometimes when we're running a business, there's a lot of faith that goes in with that. And sometimes we have to, or not just sometimes, a lot of times, we have to be able to really step it up and co-create with your higher power, which means that you're going to have to stop sometimes and ask and pause and reflect and listen to what it is that you're being asked to do in the world. Sometimes when we're co-creating with our higher power, the things that we hear don't always make sense to us, but we have to trust the voice that we're hearing. Hi, Debbie. We have to trust the voice that we're hearing and have great faith in our ability to step into whatever it is that we're asked to do. What I know about running my business for the last 8 years is that in the very beginning, my business was very lean, and I continued to persevere. I continued to move forward. I continued to do the work, and now I'm in the 6 figures, right? And so here what I would say, I had one time a very amazing mentor once tell me when I was about to step into opening my life coaching training program in Seattle, and I had 6 students signed up. And I also had to buy a plane ticket there and back six times. And I was so broke that I had to take the public transportation back and forth from the airport to where I was staying. And it was just really going to be a hard adventure. And I said to someone that was a very good friend of mine, or is a good friend of mine, that I can't afford to go. And she looked at me and she said, "You can't afford not to go." And I remember that moment so clearly because it was like the divine just moved right through her. And that person is Ann Cabano. And so I give a hand out to Ann Cabano for those of you that know Ann. Hi, April. Hi, Luna. And the piece is that she was completely right. I couldn't afford not to go. At some point, we have to understand that when running a soulful business, that in the beginning, things will be lean. And that if we just keep persevering and moving forward, the divine, because the second key is we're co-creating, that we're doing what we're being told. And what I talk about in spiritual reliability is that we need to get that we need to be reliable. And so it always isn't about the bottom line. It's about how may I serve. And what I know that is the truth about this is that we will be compensated in the same degree that we bring value into the world. Now really think about that. So it's not about always making a lot of money in the beginning. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now that I did go broke the first class. But that was the moment that I began to prime the pump. And priming the pump is what it takes. Prime that pump. And eventually what happens is when you're co-creating, you're listening, you're doing this work, the gravity of that water comes to the surface. And then what happens? It begins to flow. And that word of mouth begins to come back. I know for myself, and I just am starting a class in Seattle this Friday, 2 days from now, that I looked at my list of students that are enrolled, and half of them are word of mouth. Now think about that. You need to give away your services to people, and now hear me, hot tip, to the biggest mouth you can possibly imagine. So those people that love you and do an amazing job, rock that job so amazing that what they end up doing is talking about you. And the more they talk about you, that's called free advertisement. And when you do that, then the word of mouth comes back, and then you don't have to sell yourself because they see the value and they see the change in the people that they are friends with. And then of course they want your services. And so my thing is, give it away. Give it away to people that will talk about you. Ask for testimonials. And that's when our business begins to go. And there's nothing better, right, Mary Ritter, right, Becca, than free advertisement. And that's called word of mouth. Word of mouth advertisement is your best advertisement. And so we have to give that away to people that are going to talk about us and love us and support us and give us testimonies. So let me recap. So step one is to be an expert in something. Find your niche. Master your message. Step two is to co-create with your higher power. Now let's move into step three. Step three is about delivering a high-level product. Now think about this. Delivering a high-level product there's a difference between a low-level intention and a high-level intention. So I talk about this in spiritual reliability also. So a high-level intention, let me go back. So a low-level intention says, what am I going to get? What am I going to get from this? How much money can I make from this? That's what a low-level intention is. It's all about you and you winning. And then a high-level intention is one that says, how may I serve? How may my contribution in the world be an up level? And how may that be a ripple out into the world and change the world for the better? Our work as soulful entrepreneurs, it should be, is to help people give birth to their greatest and highest self. And it's so important that we have a high level intention to serve. And so the intention is that your intention could be to write a book and to become a bestseller, and so you can make a ton of money and be on Oprah, right? Not a bad goal. Or your intention could be that you're here to save souls, that you're here to make a difference, that you're here to heal people's lives, to bring value into their life, to put a dent in their consciousness and to help them wake up to their potential. And here's what I'm going to say to you again, that you will be compensated in the same degree you bring value into the world. And I get very clearly, and I write about this in Spiritual Reliability, that we are not mystics in a monastery. We are human beings on the earth that have rent and bills to pay. And so we have to understand that there is a fine line between giving away our services and then also charging too much for our services. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to step into a high-level intention to serve the world. That your contribution is an up level. And from that state of mind, that mental state of mind, you'll be compensated in the same degree you bring value into the world. So Marcy says making a difference is a high calling. Yes, it is. And a high calling is one where that's where that co-creation comes from. And again, in the beginning of running a successful business, it's lean. And then eventually you prime that pump, a lot of word of mouth comes back, and it changes. So Becca says we have a Spiritpreneur Facebook. Okay, great. Yeah, there's actually a great, Casey Miller, I think, developed that, Spiritpreneurs. And that's a great place to start also. And I use the word soulful entrepreneur. Now look at the word soulful entrepreneur. So listen to this. You ready? Soulful. Soulful. And so it's really about your soul is so full when you're doing this work. I do this work between SWIHA and Seattle Life Coach Training and my books and my talks because when I'm doing this work, I know it's because when I'm in that space and in that mindset that I am my greatest and highest expression of myself. It's where I am, where there's no time, and what is bliss is where time doesn't exist. And when I'm doing that work and I'm teaching and writing and lecturing, that's when I'm being my highest self. That's where you belong. And that's where we're going to make a contribution to the world. So let me recap. So we got step one, be an expert at something. Step two, co-create with your higher power. Key three, or step three, is to deliver a high-level product or service. Let's move into step four. Step 4 is to have great faith and practice. Okay. Every day, you need to, if I may invite you, or maybe say you need to, you need to have some sort of way to ground yourself. I just read a chapter in the Oprah Winfrey's new book, The Wisdom of Sundays, by her Super Soul Sundays work. And she talked about how every day she has to find a way to ground herself. And that might be that you take a shower and you're present to the water that's hitting your body. That may be that you may have a ritual of making that perfect cup of tea. That may be that you do yoga every day. That may be that you pray or you meditate. That maybe you walk, or maybe you go to the gym, or maybe you read something inspirational, or you walk your dogs, or maybe you take a swim. But there's got to be some kind of great faith and practice. So let's talk about faith. So faith in a higher power, faith that you're being supported, faith that there's something moving through you and all around you that wants you to win. And why would the universe, God, want you to win? Because you're delivering a high-level product to serve the world. Because your contribution is an up level. And when you come from that place, your faith should win. So the question that I have is your faith or your doubt winning? Yes, Carla, it's like food for your soul. You're right on about that. It is about that. And part of the practice in that, beyond having a faith in something higher than yourself and doing the work that you need to do to be able to stay in your faith, is also to have a practice. And whatever that practice may be, it grounds you to your truth. It grounds you to the essence of who you are. One of the things that I know, and I use mantras, so when my way is I swim, I like to sit in the jacuzzi, I like to read books that are inspirational, usually spiritual books. And I also, my thing that works best for me is mantras. And mantras are what I would refer to as my mental diet. Now think about that. It's about what I'm willing to put into my mental mind. And that's my practice. And so I have tons of mantras. One of the ones that I like the most is, the center of who I am is indestructible. Meaning that when you stay in your center, hi Ann Cabano, I just mentioned you by the way, that the center of who I am is indestructible, and when I'm in my center, nothing can knock me off balance. And so my life is busy, and the world of effects are always spinning around you all the time. But as long as you stay in your center, nothing can knock you off balance. And so part of that is being grounded and rooted in your truth, right? And being rooted in your co-creation with your higher power. And that when we're running Soulful Business, we need to be rooted in our co-creation with our higher power, in a high level intention to serve the world, co-creating with our higher power, and mastering our message, and being an expert at something, and claiming that, and not dimming our light to make other people comfortable, right? This was your calling on your life. If this is your calling and God, universe, spirit put that into you, then you need to use it, which is the greatest gift you can bring into the world, which is your highest calling. So again, that is always not about perfect success in the beginning. It's at priming the pump. We know a lot of soulful entrepreneurs, they get discouraged right out of the gate because they don't see the green dollar coming right away. And that is not realistic. Any good business is going to have to start from the beginning and work its way up. And it's that slow roll to the top. It's that slow process. And businesses are going to ebb and flow. They're going to flux. Sometimes you're going to be really up, and sometimes you're going to be really down. But I know that part of my great faith and practice, which is step 4, is that sometimes when business is down, that's an opportunity for me to maybe reset, redesign my product. It even maybe be time for me to be able to take some time for myself. Imagine that, which is self-care. All right, so we're going to recap. So we've got be an expert. We have co-create with your higher power. We have deliver a high-level product to serve the world. And we also have great faith and practice. Let's move on to the fifth key to successful soulful entrepreneurship. Number 5, lead like-minded people. So there's nothing worse than being in an organization or having a company where you're not in like-mindedness. And I know what that means for me, is that people that I hire in my company needs to be like-minded. They need to have the same connection to the things that I do. They need to be able to live in the same mindset as I do. They need to be a spirit entrepreneur. They need to believe in a higher power. They need to believe in reliability. They need to believe in being a producer and generator of their own set of work, whatever work they have. I don't want to have to manage people. I don't want to have to run people down and make sure you've done your job. So I only hire people that are reliable. I hire people that are self-sufficient, that are generators, that are producers, and they do their work, and that I'm always here to support them. There's nothing worse than being in an environment where you're not in like-mindedness with people. So we need to make sure that the people that we're in work with, that we're co-creating this work with, the soulful entrepreneurship is that we are of the same mind and that we understand how each of us operate. So that is the fifth key to running a soulful entrepreneur business. Number 6, which is the hardest one that I had to learn. Number 6 is delegate to experts. Oh my God, this one almost killed me. I like to control things, and I have a belief system that I'm the only one that can do it the way that I can do it, and that there are people that no one's going to do it the way I do it. But that was killing me, right? I can't be the bookkeeper and the web designer and the social market median person. I can't be the enrollment advisor. I can't be everything. And so what if I told you that it'll cost you more by trying to do everything yourself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, versus delegating to other people? And so that means that as I began to look at what I do in the world, which is life coach certification and training, that I had to delegate. I have to have a bookkeeper. I have to have a web designer. I have to have an enrollment advisor. I have to have someone that does my online work. I have to have someone that does my social media work. And because I am a soulful entrepreneur, and there are other people out there that have gifts that I don't. And so when we're not bogged down by doing things that we don't like, then our energy comes up and we can be the gift and we can flow into what it is that we were put on this earth to do, versus being bogged down by things that we don't like to do. So that 6th key is to delegate to experts, because we can't do it alone, guys. And so it's so important that we are okay with that. And yes, it's going to cost you more money. Yes, it's going to cost you. But in the end, what is it costing you to not do it? So again, the 6th key to running a successful soulful business is to delegate to experts. Number 7, key to running a successful business is be visible and relevant. So what does that mean, to be visible and relevant? Well, it means you got to get out there. You got to not sit behind a desk, sit behind your computer, and unless you're Facebook Living like I am today, but you got to show people who you are. You know, I've always told my students, you can have the best business card you want. You can have an awesome rockin' website. But if people can't find you, it's worthless. It's pointless. And so part of this, it is a waste of time. So we have to be able to delegate, and we have to be able to be visible and relevant, right? And so we got to get ourselves out there, guys. We got to show people what we do. And so sometimes that means that starting from the beginning. I remember when I first started coaching back in 2003, and I share this story a lot with my new students. I lived in an apartment complex in Central Phoenix. And what do we do in the summer when we live in an apartment complex? We go to the pool, right? And so there's nothing better than wandering around and swimming around and talking to people at the pool. And you're always chatting with people. So what if you started telling people what you do for a living, right? So when I would swim around in the pool, I would talk to people about what I do as a life coach. And I would give them little mini sessions right there in the pool. And then I would tell them what apartment number I was in. And I'd say, if you want a coaching session, it's $25 while I'm in training. And I want you to slide a little paper under my door and give me your phone number and I'll call you and we'll book a session. And that begins to get you visible and relevant. So what about the relevancy of this? So being relevant is to be, hi Ryan Seaman, my brother. Being relevant is that we have this product that is in the now, that everyone can relate to, that this product is something that everyone in the world needs. Like I'm gonna tell you, like I want to ask you, like a high level intention, like we don't need plastic things in the world. Like why would you want to go out and like have like a little thing that you sell that's plastic, right? That's just not needed in the world. But a relevancy would be, what about that you need to learn how to eat properly? What about you need a life coach to up-level your life? What about you might need a massage? Things that people need in their life is relevant. And so also be on the cutting edge. Being on the cutting edge is going to make you an expert. And it's going to put you in the forefront of the expertise of something. And when you become an expert in something, then people want what you have. And so it's so important that we become visible in the world and we become relevant in the world. And when we show up as an expert. So that's what I got today. And so that is the 7 keys to running a successful, soulful business. And it's what I stand on every single day in my company. And I just want to ask all of you to please hear me on this, that whatever your product is in the world, that you do it from an up level, that you have a high level intention to serve the world, and that your product is an up level, and that you're going to put a dent in people's consciousness and they'll never forget you. So let me go back to this. Oh, excuse me, one more time, sorry. So here we go. You're welcome for the message. You're welcome. So I'm going to recap one more time as I end this. So, number 1, be an expert in something. Number 2, co-create with your higher power. Number 3, deliver a high-level product or service. Number 4, have great faith and practice. Number 5, lead like-minded people. Number 6, delegate to experts. And number 7, be visible and relevant. And again, a soulful entrepreneur is someone that gets that their love and their life and their work and their spirituality are not separate. And when we do this, we are offering a high-level product to serve the world. Again, my name is Richard Seaman. I am the lead instructor of the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts in Tempe, Arizona. Also the founder and director of Seattle Life Coach Training, the author of 2 books, Spiritual Reliability and It's All in the Sharing. I hope you found value in my live today, and I appreciate you spending time with me. I'll be back next Wednesday at 12 o'clock Mountain Central Time, and I look forward to supporting you on your entrepreneurial, soulful journey. I say thank you, and I'm signing out. Namaste and blessings.